Hello and welcome to today's broadcast. Today we are going to be talking about aging successfully, and we have Michael here with us today to share a little bit of his aging successfully journey and plan and how he is feeling today on his, can I say?
Go ahead, you can say it.
56 birthday. So thanks for jumping on live with us. If you're catching us live or either are on our rebroadcast, please take a second to wish Michael a happy birthday. He is a definite driving force in the success of this community here. And I know a lot of the men who are joining their women on this intermittent fasting journey really do rely on Michael as a source of encouragement and information. So now would be a great time to wish him a happy birthday and thank him for that as well. So aging successfully, what does that mean today? We really do believe that aging successfully is us as a community being proactive about how it is we are designing our life moving forward and really making decisions based on our tomorrows. Oftentimes when we think about health changes that we're trying to make in our life, or we're thinking about maybe reversing some age-related diseases, or we want to change the way we look or get a little more fit or lose that extra weight, whatever it is, we always base what it is we're doing or how we're doing it on our past. And I do really believe, and Michael believes this as well, and we try to share this here in this community, is that we really need to start thinking about our future. How is it that we see ourselves 10 years from now, 20 years from now, and stop judging ourselves or evaluating our life based on how it used to be. We are not going in that direction. We are moving forward. And we really do believe that is the true definition of aging successfully. Designing the life you want to have for your tomorrows and the people that you want to spend that time with. So Michael is a beautiful example of what aging successfully is and how it is that he is living his life out. And on his 56th birthday, we thought we would come on here and share a little bit of what he's been doing and how he feels the lifestyle changes that he has been making has really helped his tomorrows.
Yeah, and what does that really mean, aging successfully? Like, I mean, it's really kind of hard to narrow that down. Like, what does that really mean for you? I think it goes down to you individually what that means. Like
defining it for
yeah,
yourself?
defining it for you and where you are in your life really means a lot. Because I know for me, I feel like I'm pretty successful at this aging process, but then I'm always learning something new. I learn something new every day, and right when I think I have it together, it's like, oh yeah, right, I probably should be doing more of this or more of that, or less of this or less of that, and you're constantly making changes. So I think that's where you age successfully, is where you know where you need to ebb and flow and make changes in the process.
And do you think that aging, I mean, I know like in our younger years with fitness and all those kind of things, oftentimes it was based on the aesthetic outcome of what it is you were choosing to do.
Oh yeah, and I
How
love
has
that
that changed? How has that changed for you now? How do you see yourself aging successfully moving forward, even from the aspect of the aesthetics? Are you willing to do whatever it takes and those kind of things?
Well, I think in that aspect is so different for me now because and I've said this before on this channel, like back in the day, man, when I was doing P90X, and I mean, I was trying to kill those programs, and it was all about aesthetics and like how I was going to come out, how I was going to look in the end is what it was really all about for me at that age and at that time in my life. And I look back now and it's like, I mean, it was a great process to go through and to get into shape and be in the best shape ever and all that stuff. But nowadays it comes down to, like me and Diane discuss here a lot, is like what are we looking forward to in the future? Like I want to basically be able to push myself up off the ground. Like if I fell down in older age, I want to be able to push myself up. I want to be able to have strength to bring in groceries. I want to be able to
garden,
put my Christmas decorations away in the rafters in my garage. I want to be able to do that successfully by myself if I want to. I want to be able to function in life, and that's like the bigger thing for us now, is like, how are we going to function? How are we going to deal with future grandkids that we've never seen before? How are we going to do that? How are we going to approach that? And what are we going to look like when we get there?
And don't you think that this is part of the mindset shift we talk a lot about here too in this community, is that, you know, you go from like aesthetic fitness and pleasing others, even so maybe sometimes, to functional fitness or functional wellness, and how it is you're able to move about your day. Because there were many times when I myself, and I know you went through this too with some bouts of over exercising to get a result, is that you end up limiting yourself, right? So you end up with like having to nurse a sore knee, or your back goes out, or you throw a hip out. I remember a time when Logan was just little, and Michael called. Yeah, I'm gonna call.
She's gonna tell this story.
Michael calls me from the park, like
on my birthday,
frantic. It was on your birthday, right?
No.
No, no.
No,
okay.
I'm telling you. You're telling the story on my birthday.
So he calls me from the park, frantic because his hip flexor froze up at the park, and Logan was just a little toddler, and he couldn't like chase him. He was standing there just frozen, stuck, you know, and like. And that could have just been from not stretching properly, or not exercising properly, or over exercising, because that's the life we were living at that time. And so, you know, we want to make sure that we do things in a way that we can just continue to be successful for the future. And then realizing that we do change. Like, there are just some things that are going to change. The ability in which you can execute some things is going to change. The outcome is going to change. Like, I'm probably never going to be able to run the way I ran in my 30s, but that's okay. Like, I was doped up on Motrin and Diet Coke anyway, just to cover up the pain so I could run longer. So it was ego based all the time. And so we have to really get to that point. And I do think a big part of aging successfully is just sitting down with yourself or your spouse and writing out, like, how do you see yourself aging, and what does that mean for you moving forward, with no comparisons from your past, and just being grateful for everything that you have today and how you want to keep that for moving forward.
And with the park story, I was trying to do high knees going up a really steep hill with my son running up with me, and I'm going to do some football drills. I'm going to do high knees going up a steep hill. I don't know what happened, but I was stuck in place. I thought, man, if this boy runs away, I'll never get him back as I can.
And that was late. That was probably 30 years ago, right? 20 years ago. 20 years ago, probably.
Probably more about 18 years.
Yeah, 18
well,
years.
he was young.
Yeah, 18.
So,
He's going to be 20, so 18 years
16,
ago. So,
18 years ago.
Yeah, so that's what we really define aging successfully as. And as someone who's watched Michael over the past 20 years transition as well, and knowing some of our friends and some of the things that they've had to go through, and listening to some of the stories from some of the guys that he works with and stuff, I would have to say, sitting on the sidelines, that I believe Michael is aging very successfully, and doing all the right things to make sure that he is here for our family, and he's here for us and here for himself as well. So I think it does, you know, and a birthday is a great time to you know, look at some of those milestones that we have in our lives, and some of the things that we really want to self-evaluate and draft a plan. Like, Michael and I don't do any of this stuff as a passive type of event in our life. We literally write out what we see for ourselves for the future, and we put those things into action. And I think sometimes if you just take things a little bit for granted and do it in a passive sort of way, life moves so quickly. Life will pass you by, and something will knock you off your feet, and you don't want to be that person that has regrets, or that I wish I would have done things differently, when you're in a position today to already make those decisions for yourself and craft that life.
And I think sometimes, like what I was saying earlier, is we have to have some kind of a self-awareness of like where we are as an individual, because to be honest, I mean, like, when I look at my health, it's not perfect from a family standpoint. I mean, 'cause I have everybody in my family. I have a mom and a dad and a brother and me, you know, as my immediate family, and I'm the only one that doesn't have diabetes. Now, I don't say that to brag, but I know that
You could
I have
have
to keep,
diabetes
I could,
very easily,
because
yeah.
both sets of grandparents had diabetes. My mom has diabetes on medication. My dad has diabetes on medication, and my only brother has diabetes on medication. So what does that mean for me? I can't put on a bunch of weight. I can't not take care of myself, because, you know, I will have diabetes. It's just in my blood. There's heart disease in my family, mom, dad, grandparents. I mean, so I'm in a situation where I have to be very aware of personally, like, what I need to do to keep myself healthy. So I can't slip in certain areas where maybe someone else could slip in a certain area and be a little more flexible because they don't live with that issue. You know what I mean? But I always have to be aware of certain things when it comes to diabetes and heart disease and cholesterol and all those things. And we should all be aware of those things. But I know for me personally, I really have to be aware of those things because I fall right into that category of getting those diseases.
Right, and we on the female side of this community, we talk a lot about having these plans that we kind of tuck away in our hip pocket, and that you don't have to live that strictly every single day with nutritional choices and lifestyle things that you're putting in your life, but being aware and self-educated about what some options are for you in case something comes up. And I think today, and what we've been going through for the past couple of months, and what we'll be going through in the months coming up, is that why wouldn't we want to age successfully and be in the best possible health that we can with all of the resources that we have available to us? We live in an age where information is almost too plentiful. So if you have access to information, then you have access to the opportunity to expose yourself to that information, which then allows you an opportunity to have choices, and then you make those choices to execute plans. And so, a lot of the people who are suffering today through this horrid situation that we're going to were already compromised in ways because of health conditions, and that's not their fault, and there's no blame to that. But we should look at that and go, okay, well, if I'm suffering from something right now, what can I do to make sure that if something in life comes around, I can attack that thing with everything that I have available to me, pull out some of that back pocket information that you have available, because you're on the search to always keep yourself in a place where you can age successfully and you have choices that you can make. And I think as a wife of a 56-year-old man, and 56 and I'm going to be 54, to us seems really young, but by life standards, I mean, we're smack dab in the middle of midlife plus, if you think about time frames of lifespan. And I'm super grateful that he is proactive about the work that he's doing to make sure that he is going to be here for us. And Michael and I have had conversations before too about not being a burden, right? Like, I don't want to be a burden to my family. I've already, touched a little bit of what Alzheimer's could feel like. I've touched the diabetic scene as well. And I feel like it's my personal responsibility to take care of myself, to not be a burden to others. And I think what Michael's doing as a 56-year-old man in today's world, I'm grateful that he's not going to burden me or burden our kids with, just being sort of passive about taking care of himself. And I think when we approach things like that, then we really can own the responsibility of choices that we're making and do our best to live our best life through choices that we're making.
Yeah. And something else, like I talked about the individual aspect, but when we talk about like an ethnic aspect of this, I'm sure you've been hearing a lot on the news with COVID-19, how it's adversely affecting minorities in greater numbers as far as infections and deaths. And they're asking the question, why is that? Well, I think we know the answers to that. I mean, I just gave you my family, the example of my family having 4 people, 3 with diabetes, and I didn't even mention my brother has sickle cell, and those are factors that could make them more adversely affected by or more susceptible to COVID-19. So with that being said, I mean, I think as a society, if being black, I mean, we have to, or being a minority, period, we have to take care. I mean, like, that's a whole nother conversation of how we got to this point. But a lot of it has to do with social standings and the foods that we eat, that we consume, that have gotten us to this point. Well, from this point forward, we have to figure out how to not to be in a situation where we're more susceptible to die from a virus. If that's what's going on, I mean, the stats are showing that we have to be in a position to to be in a better position than what we are now.
Right.
As a group.
And that just goes back to that personal responsibility thing, and seeking out information and making sure that you are informed, so that if in the event that something happens in life, you are not scrambling, right? And so if you make small changes over time and you really start putting into practice the things that you're researching, there's a lot of people who sit by the sidelines and soak in a lot of information and don't actually implement it either. I think right now, with the way the world is, we have to implement common sense information that's available to us and apply it on a daily basis so that we can be able to take care of ourselves. I mean, it's so prevalent, or so obvious that, we don't want to have to rely on a system that it may not be able to take care of us, and we should be able to in the minimum take care of ourselves. And so we want to make sure that we're always making sure that we give that type of information and support and encouragement here as well. Take care of yourself, take care of the people that you love. And with that being said, we also wanted to recognize, we know tonight is the beginning of Passover, and we have Easter coming up this weekend. And, it's okay to miss a couple of holidays. It's okay to hunker down and stay home and wind down some things for 1 year. Me and Michael were just talking about how we want to just take all celebrations off the table for 2020. No, we're not going to do any of them. And just start over in, January 1st, 2021, and just lay low and take the pressure off, and just be grateful that you have another day, that you can wake up and you can appreciate the people that you're with and love the things that you have and enjoy your backyard or make a family dinner. Just go back to appreciating the small things and letting go a little bit of the hype or the hallmarkness of what we've created, even with celebrations today. And let's just go back to some normalcy and some basics and just be present with the people that we love. Like, we're chilling out here today. Like, we usually go out and have a great dinner and we celebrate, and all the hooplas of birthdays, and it feels really good to just be. And have a nice dinner at home with our people. And, we're doing all the things to ensure that we're going to have another birthday next year. So, you pick it up next year as well. And take this time, if you're practicing some religious or some customary type of things this weekend with some stuff that's going on in the calendar, to dig into what the meaning of that is. What is Easter supposed to be about? And can you go back to that and take all the hype out of it? And how are you practicing Passover? And has it become something that's kind of gotten a little bit out of hand because of what the expectations are based on society? Can you bring it back to center and really just embrace what it is that you are celebrating and what the meaning behind it is? And I think in our family, we're guilty of that too. And going back to the roots of why these holidays come about, or roots of why we celebrate things, and really, really sink into that for 2020 and just see how that feels. We did that 2 years ago at Christmas, and we were just done with all the hype of Christmas and kids and expectations. And we went to Hawaii, and Christmas came, and we went on a hike for Christmas, and it was amazing. Now, we're not losing that we don't forget why Christmas is what it is, but we just walked away from the expectations that is put on us, and it was an amazing celebration for us and our family. So take that as an opportunity as well to just bring the hype down a little bit and really go back to the basics and lean into people and the love that you have for people and the gratefulness that you have for the life you have.
Yeah, and stay in close contact with your friends and your family right now. A lot of people are on Zoom and they're making phone calls. I mean, we try to make as many phone calls as we can. Mm-hmm. So there's a lot of people that are suffering right now, and there's some people that I don't think they understand, like, everything that's going on. They don't understand the danger of what it means to be out and to keep your social distance. I mean, it's pretty obvious that people still don't understand that because they're out doing things that they shouldn't be doing.
Did I say we're on day 27?
I think so.
We're on day 27 of self-induced quarantine. Yeah. We shut her down as soon as we got Logan home from college. And for me, like, I love my house full of family, and I love that our kids are here and they're safe, and I know I can't have that forever, and I want this whole crisis to go away as far as the health ramifications of it. But I'm already feeling a little bit sad about everybody getting busy again and everybody going their separate ways, and my house feeling empty with, you know, everybody gone and out and doing their things. And so I'm trying to embrace every moment that I have with my people and our house being full and watching our kids rest. I kind of get so exhausted and beat down being in school all day, and it's really been nice to see everybody be able to pull back. And so I'm grateful for that, even though I'm a little bit stir crazy, and realizing that there's some niceties that I'm having to learn how to do without as well. I'm really trying to lean into all those things that I can take advantage of, because poof, before you know it, everybody's going to go back to normal, or whatever normal is then. And then we're going to be regretful about the fact that we didn't just chill out and enjoy the people that we have.
Our heart and our prayers go out to everyone out there. I mean, no matter what you're going through right now. I mean, people have lost, you know, family members and jobs and you know, businesses, and people don't really know where to turn as far as even trying to have a funeral. I mean, like, it's just such a quick process, and you know, people can't be bedside with their loved ones. I mean, it's a really horrific time for a lot of people.
Well, you just found out people at the airport too, right?
Yeah, there's some people. I managed to get the early out package, still waiting for them to figure all that stuff out, but I'm definitely leaving. But I just found out today that a couple people at the airport passed away. There's 10 people that are working out there at DFW in our work group that have the coronavirus, and you know, our heart and prayers go out to them and their families, and you know, it's just a really tough time, a strange time, but you know, we're gonna make it through. Yep. We just gotta, you know, stick to our guns at social distancing and doing everything we can to one day get on the other side.
Yeah, and
the other side's gonna look different than what we're used to, but we will get to the other side.
And we're adamant, and we hope that we can express this as sensitively as we can, but also with some diligence behind it as well. Is you have to stay healthy. You have to stay mentally healthy. You have to stay physically healthy. You have to stay emotionally healthy, and you know, take advantage of things that are available to you. I think we said this last time we talked, is that, you know, don't be ashamed going for help. Don't be ashamed to ask for help. You know, don't be ashamed about anything that you're suffering through. This is out of our control. And so if you just lost your job, go on the internet, do all the research that you can about what's available to you and what resources you can tap into, and do everything that you can to make sure that you're going to be okay through this. Freezing and feeling paralyzed through these types of situations is the worst thing that we can do. And so check in with people, have people ask people to check in with you if that's what you need to be that trigger to get you up and going in the day and being proactive about taking care of yourself. The best way to get through this is to just keep getting through it. And so show up for yourself and show up for your people as well, because this, like Michael said, this is going to pass, and we want to make sure that we aren't having to make up for more lost time than we already have. And so rest. You know, I was talking to someone the other day about like taking a nap, and heck, I got 5 hours of deep sleep last night. We slept almost 9 hours. I'm sleeping in, you know. Wednesday's the same as Saturday for a lot of people's worlds today. It's okay to sleep in on a Wednesday if you're just feeling like you don't want to wake up early, and don't be afraid to relax a little bit too, because again, like, we're going to go back to normalcy at some point, and everyone's going to be running back around in these crazy schedules that we have, and overdoing things and overscheduling ourselves. And so if you have an opportunity to just rest right now, rest as well. Just don't freeze, right? So take advantage of some extra time that you can sleep in if you can. Watch a movie late at night if you haven't had an opportunity to do that in a little while. That's super fun to do too. And just be, and find those things to be grateful for every day, and then make decisions so that when you come out of this, you're going to be okay. And it's going to take some adjusting. We don't know what it's going to look like in our family. We don't know what it's going to look like in our life. We don't know what it's going to look like in our business, but we just keep looking forward, right? So just keep looking forward, and then when things open up, you'll at least have a good vision or a good vantage point of what your possibilities are, for sure.
And thank you for hanging out with me on my birthday. I appreciate it.
Yes, super fun. It's a quarantine birthday celebration.
Yeah.
So our family has Michael's first, then I'm in May, then Logan's in June, and then Gabby's in July. So we have the possibility to have 4 quarantine birthday celebrations in our house this year. So it's going to be interesting for sure. Everyone's saying happy birthday to you, Michael. So thank you.
Thank you
Brenda,
so much.
Karen says happy birthday. Katrina, Teresa's here.
Thank
Kim,
you.
Dinah, Mona Lisa, Karen, my girl Queen Di is here. Donna Moore says happy birthday. Nancy says happy birthday. Cheryl says happy birthday. You both look and sound like you're aging successfully. I plan to join you and age successfully. Yes, for sure, girlfriend. The Aging Successfully camp is open to everyone, for sure. Shannon's here. Kendra. Many more blessed ones. Michael, I love seeing you guys together. You two are inspirations to many of us. Thanks for saying that.
Thank you.
Kim, learn to love being a homebody. Yeah, for sure. And then Danny, hello. I think I saw some meme or something on social media that says this quarantine has helped someone realize that all they do is go out to eat and shop, right? And so it's been nice for us to just like we think twice about going out to get anything. We been to the grocery store I think once in 2 weeks. It's amazing how much stuff we have available in our home already, just sort of packed away.
And we have not gotten one purchase of toilet paper from the grocery store. Not one. Because we do
or
subscribe and save with Amazon. So we haven't purchased any
We just have to
toilet
make
paper
sure
at all.
we're on track with that, because I know the way they're shipping now is a little bit different than the normal, but this house is always stocked up in case of an emergency. Teresa, good to see you, girlfriend. How's the mask? We should actually go on Teresa's Etsy site and order some masks for us. So Teresa has an Etsy site and she's making masks. So if you want to put your Etsy site on the Facebook page, Teresa, definitely go ahead and do so, unless of course you don't want to be inundated with a bunch of mask making. But we need to go on and order
Teresa,
ours.
can I get something custom?
Custom, yeah, right.
Like
right,
maybe some black mask, like something that looks kind of cool.
Donna, thanks for joining us. Amy, good to have you with us. Diane is here. Yvonne is here. Good to see you, girlfriend. Cynthia, hello.
Thank you.
Gotta be game ready. Yeah, for sure, girlfriend. I always say that. I always feel like we don't get knocked off our feet anymore. We adjust. We might have to shift, but we don't really get completely knocked off our feet anymore. And I think that's because we just have that mindset that we're always evolving. We always have a game plan, and because of some things we've gone through in the past and some things we lost in the past, that we are just we look at material things in a much different way, and we value people in a different way too. So for us, as long as my people are here and my people are healthy, like, we don't need this house. Like, there's a lot of things we don't need. And I think when you go through some losses, I think you start to learn how to evaluate things differently. And
we can pivot that fast.
Yeah, fast.
Because we've done it before. We know how to do it.
But before, it took us a long time.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, back in 2008, it took us years to pivot, and it cost us a lot of money.
Linda Lewis, thanks for joining us. She says, happy birthday. You're a great role model for us. Hope your next trip around the sun will be the best one ever. Oh, that would be nice. Lori, hello. Maria, hello. Sheila, Diane's here. I thought she must have already said something else over here. Karen, good to have you with us, girlfriend. And then Sharon, every blessings to you and your family. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah, so we're gonna, Gabby made him gluten-free brownies last night, because Michael loves brownies. So I'll have to find out what her recipe is. They were amazing. And then we had some cocoa whip with that. So we're still eating healthy, even though we're celebrating. And then we have I think we have another gluten-free chocolate cake mix or something like that. I'm sure Gabby will throw. So Gabby's making dinner for Michael tonight. So they're gonna have some barbecue chicken and a salad or something like that. So it'll be super fun.
It'll be fun.
Thank you so much for being so gracious and loving to Michael.
Stay safe.
I appreciate that. And I know that you guys appreciate him. So thank you for making him feel so loved and appreciated on his birthday.
Thank you for letting me be a part of this, and I just love hanging out here and seeing all the comments and messages that Diane gets from you guys. It's just amazing.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, so we're going to head out. I'm going to go hit a run on the treadmill. Michael, are you going to work out?
Yeah, I'm going to work out.
He's going to work out on his birthday, because that's what we do. And then we'll see you guys around social media. Always feel free to reach out if you need anything from us. We'll be back here live on Monday at 3 p.m. Central Standard Time.
You guys have a good one.